Luke on Shaman TV here with Chris Millington. So 1-1 draw. What are your thoughts on the game?
It's very early after the game. A lot really, I think. Pleased in all. I think the lads have really acquitted themselves well. They've gone out with a very specific game plan. They've worked incredibly hard. We came here to win. I've no doubt that Forest Green will think that we came here for a point. We came here with the intention of nullifying them for the first 55, 60 minutes and then going after them late in games. Two reasons. One, we know how intense and how high intensity they start games and how hard they work in the first half of football matches. We know the later in games they continue with that level of intensity, but the units get more stretched. The gaps open up down the side of May, and the back four starts to drop off an awful lot later in games. So the intention was to nullify them, frustrate them, make it difficult for them for the first hour, and then go after them in the latter stages with the likes of Andrew Olowobori, Aidan George, Owen Bray coming on to just add a little bit of attacking flair for us. So, in some respects it worked because it got us a point, but disappointing in the manner of the goal we conceded because their big strength is counter-attacks. I think that'll be the 16th goal they've scored this season off counter-attacks, and that's a really impressive stat given the stage of the season we're at. To have scored 16 counters at this stage is really outstanding. So we knew we had to deal with that, and it's just disappointing all the work we did in preparing to deal with that. It's the way they've undone us, but I guess if it's their strength, then we've got to give them credit. But yeah, we're pleased that we've got a point out of it. But had we not been undone in that moment, who knows? It might have been 3.
Of course, obviously, looking at that first half and a relatively easy one, both sides sort of testing each other out. Only a couple of shots to speak of, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we knew we could hit them on the counter. That was the objective. Again, I'll be surprised if people don't think that we've come in and banked up expecting to earn a point. We've come in and banked up for the first period of the game with the intention of frustrating them, making them stretch more, making them bump the full-backs on higher, which they started to do. Moving their players out of position so that on the regain we had more space to attack. So, it worked to a degree, but we didn't do it well enough to keep them to 0.
Start of the second half certainly more lively, and then, as you said, caught on the break for their goal.
Yeah, and listen, these are a good team to prepare for. Really enjoyed preparing for them because they play at an intensity that is more akin to a League Two side. So we had to approach it differently. You think about the game we played against York, and albeit York beat us, I think we dominated the possession stats certainly after their first 20 minutes where they had control of the play. We dominated the ball and the territory, but these are a different animal. These you switch off for a moment and these will hurt you. So we knew we had to come here with a different plan, with a different objective, and it highlights the versatility of this group, that they're able to approach different games in different ways. They can go into games looking to control possession and try and beat teams with the ball, and likewise we can adapt and look to hurt teams on the counter-attack by defending incredibly well and then springing dangerous counter-attacks. And also I think another indicator of the sort of the success that we've had in this game is the fact that I think we had 5 corners and I think they only had 3, which again suggests that we've had some dangerous attacks. And the corners themselves, we've carried a threat. There's the goalmouth scramble that on another day somebody pokes that in. So we've all contributed. Sam's had to make a couple of saves, but all in all, I guess we've got to be pleased that we've shown we can go toe to toe with what are probably one of the best 2 teams in the division. I'd say these and Oldham play at a level of intensity that's more akin to League Two than the rest of the teams we come up against.
Of course, left it late to find that equaliser, and was it Andrew Olowobori or was it Billy Waters that got the touch?
Don't care. I think the credit should go to all the lads today because everybody's contributed. Everybody who's crossed the white line has had an impact on the game, whether that's the concentration of the lads who started in central midfield, and it does take an awful lot of concentration to give up possession, but to move incredibly well to make sure we frustrate. The wing backs had a job, especially Angelo, who's getting doubled up on, but coped incredibly well. The back 3 dealt with you know, look at the players they're bringing on, man. You know, the standard of the players that they've got here is League Two. You know, Quigley and Cardwell are probably two of the best strikers in this division over the last few years, and should arguably be in the league. Ossa Davey, what a player to be bringing on off the bench! It's ridiculous. You know, that the level of quality they've got, but. You know, did they look any better than us today? Well, they'll think so because they had more of the ball. But in actual fact, we know that we implemented a really effective game plan, and on another day we might come away with all 3 points.
Yeah, even after that goal, we still had a couple of decent chances, but we'll travel back north with a point, and the fans certainly showed their appreciation at the end.
The fans were brilliant, and I went over at the end. You know, we all went over, and yeah, I was really happy to see them. It's just phenomenal, the number of them who've made the effort to get here, the backing, the support they've given the lads, and I don't want them to mistake me smiles and me cheerfulness with being satisfied with a point, because we're not. We want to win every game we start. But I was really just happy with the backing, and really that we gave them something out of the game, and we showed that we can go toe to toe with any team in the division, and we'll look to continue to do that for them over the course of the season.
Of course, obviously a slightly quicker turnaround than usual from a midweek game, and it's Southend United on Saturday at the Shea. Yeah,
tough team. The last team to draw with these 2-2. The Southend are another team who the management team there have done incredibly well to get them playing at a level of intensity. You know, the league position probably doesn't reflect the quality of the work that they do there, but it will do come the end of the season. They'll be right in and amongst it. So a team who I kind of I have a soft spot for, because I see a lot of us in them. You know, the organisation, the hard work, the commitment, the ability to go for 90-95 minutes, and I think they're a well coached, well organised team. So it'll be another challenging game, and it'll be one that's decided by the fine margins. So it's great to see that this young group are starting to be able to manage those important moments and those fine margins really well.
Thank you.
Thanks.